Hello, viewers. I'll start out by saying I'm a casual fan of the Cape Shit community. I've been paying attention to what's going on in comic discussions, movie talk, power scaling, etc., since forever. But there's some problems I have with the community I've been trying to articulate for a while. Ones that make me see myself more like a tourist than a fan at heart. And it's starting to hit me when I read up on modern Spider Man discourse. It seems to represent the heart of the Cape Shit appeal, so I want to focus on breaking it down. So I'm seeing two sides of the story. There's a side that complains Peter isn't charismatic anymore, and there's the side that complains he's too charismatic sometimes. To further explain, I've been reading up on MBTI studies recently, and I noticed that modern Spider Man and classical Spider Man were basically two different characters. Modern Peter represents the INFP archetype, the whole recent responsibility appeal, where he's only a loser because he thinks having power makes it his duty. However, classical Spider Man, who represents the INTP archetype, completely flips this on its head. Originally, he was actually kind of an asshole, but what made those stories interesting was that he was an asshole trying to make up for his mistakes. But the way recent interpretations paint it is as if Peter tries to make up for mistakes he didn't even make to begin with. OG Peter held on to great responsibility because he was a flawed person, not because he wasn't. That's where memes like this come from, and it's why modern Spider Man utilizes the great responsibility aspect in the wrong way. People won't admit it, but nobody actually thinks it's cool to be a good person. Because you don't get an award for making needless self sacrifice your personality, which is what true virtue entails. Because what's there to respect about someone who doesn't respect themselves? That's why I couldn't be bothered to care about the way modern comics cut Peter. The fans' suggestions wouldn't fix the problem, because the real problem lies that the way modern fans interpret the character misses the point. Nobody likes Spider Man because he's a loser. They like him because he isn't one. He doesn't struggle with rent because he's actually incapable of standing up for himself. He struggles because he's out there doing things, beating villains twice his size, trolling his enemies, lifting cars and buildings. He can't pay rent because he's charismatic, not because he's needlessly self sacrificing. That's why when I was a kid, I'd always wear Spider Man costumes and play wrestling games at recess. Spider Man wasn't some self inserting cuck fantasy to me. He made me feel like it was cool I didn't fit in. Superheroes don't make you want to feel like a loser, they make you want to feel like you're not one. And the way comics and movies are treated now is actually kind of sad in that sense, because games like Dispatch or movies like the recent Superman only serve to reaffirm the feelings of powerlessness people are trying to avoid, yet everyone just eats them up. To end this off, there's a saying we all need to internalize. Man's virtue doesn't come from what he sacrifices for others, it comes from what he sacrifices to live up to his greatest gifts. Because it's true that man's greatest gift is his ability to give, but what can man give when he has nothing? Man is only human after all. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I'll see you later.